Today is decision day for the Marylvania States Only Challenge, as we have 4 games left of the regular season, Season 5, the final year of which we must win a Super Bowl or fail said challenge. We set ourselves up last time after a 500 episode where we picked up really big wins against the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bengals. Graham to help lead the way. Stallings pushes into the end zone. We got a tight look here. Back to Saquon, who cuts and walks us off. I'm not sure, but either way, we've taken a big lead here in the second quarter, 21-6. Snap back, hold down, kick is up, and it is a 2-score lead. We're already running thin on the defensive line, but we get the stop, and that will be game. So a little bit of some sweet and sour mixed in there. Unfortunately, consistency wasn't quite there, and we dropped just as big games against the Steelers and the 49ers. Washington, he's going to find a little bit of space, but it gets picked off by Horn. And that is setting him up inside field goal range. They'll send out the field goal unit, and they take the lead with 3 seconds left. Defensive run game so far. As we look for a pass, that is where we're going to have trouble. Jarrett some space, or loft across the middle, and it gets picked off again. Asante Samuel Jr. Get him another breath of air somewhere, as that throw is nowhere close to where it needed to be. It's a 3rd pick for Asante Samuel Jr. But with just those 4 games left, we find ourselves currently on top of the division. We have swept the Bengals this year, so we technically kind of sit at 2 games above them. Steelers, they're right behind, so by no means is this thing said and done, but in the early couple games, we could really solidify our spot. And the first team we face are the Raiders, who are currently the 7th seed. Now, we've already played against the 1st seed in the Chiefs. We beat them. Played against the Bills already. We've lost to them. So there are some key games here. If we don't win the division, we have to then make the wild card. A win against the Raiders could help add a little bit of some insurance. But we are also missing one of our starting offensive linemen in R.J. Mitchell. He will not return until hopefully playoff football. So we're going to have some depth guys step up. Ryan Bates first and foremost. Hopefully not Hennessy, because that means we have another injury for the offensive line. But we've got to come through the final 4 weeks. So without any further ado, we're jumping into each and every one of these games until we find out for sure we are into the playoffs. So let's head to Las Vegas. Now, as we get underway, already big news down at the bottom. The Bengals lose against the Steelers, so that draws them even on record. And if we win this game, starts to build that separation we were looking for. But of course, we've only had 1 play so far, so that is still way down the line. It was a good gain, though. About 9.5 for Saquon. You go play action off of it. Kenny Pickett will actually look to rumble. He's going to pick up at least 5, 10, about 15 before he gets stopped by the incoming DB. But we really need Kenny Pickett to have a good episode today. Not just 1 game, we need it throughout. As Saquon back down the middle, gets stopped early on, and Chigakonkwo ends up taking a knee following the play. That is not good, but he will head to the bench, so at least some promise. In his place, we'll see a little bit more of Brenton Strange and Mike Gesicki. 2nd and 8. Pickett throws down to the bottom as he finds Parker Washington nearly picking up the 1st down. Now it's Keon White shaken up for the Raiders. Already a couple injuries early on, and I just realized didn't finish really my thought process on Pickett. He's coming off a little bit of a rough episode. He finished poorly, and it's, I guess, a very timely way for the interception to show up. Raiders take over down at the 39, Benjamin St. Juste. And that is exactly what we do not need from Kenny Pickett. That was the reason that we dropped the final game in such a horrific fashion against the 49ers. Tripping, getting the tackle, though, is Brandon Smith. We'll take that tackle any way we could get it. It's a gain of 5, getting him down to the 33. As Watson will look to throw down to the flat, and a knockout. This time, Brandon Smith purposefully makes the play. Can he find the trifecta, getting the stop here on third? It's a bunch up top, one down to the bottom for Watson, as they will throw across the middle, and jarring it free is Dennis, the other linebacker. So the backers end up coming through for us, end up forcing a field goal attempt here, just inside the 40. We'll say it's about a 50-yarder, 49 to 50, as it's got plenty of power. Accuracy, perfect. As we've got 4 games to get through, we'll jump into a quicker sim portion here, see if we get down towards the red zone. 2nd and 8, Barkley picks up 6. 3rd, we get the first down, it's Raheem Jarrett. He's playing wide receiver 1 with Dotson not holding that position down, demoted to wide receiver 2. And it's Saquon, 34-yard touchdown, we take the lead. That's the problem, right, when we got Saquon. He will bust off these runs out of nowhere, and we don't get to watch them. But still, I will take the lead. The win is most important, as we do not get the stop on 3rd. 1st and 10, it's a TFL. Don't know who got the tackle. Wish we got that information. 3rd and 8. A sack by Odafe Owe. We'll be getting the ball back. And considering the big hit that we had last time with that 34-yard touchdown from Saquon, we will start at the 33, though our 33. As we hand it off down the middle, it is Stallings going nowhere. Very interesting, though, that it has him out there. It would really be awful if Saquon got injured on his touchdown run, but Stallings finds a little bit more space this time, ends up picking up 8, leaving 3rd and 2. Saquon has missed a good amount of time this season, back here for that 3rd and 2. Stallings has filled in pretty well. I like the 1-2 punch. Israel occasionally makes some plays as well, but we'll elect not to snap the ball, send it into the 2nd quarter. It wasn't, anything special of a first for us. We got a touchdown, we took a lead, but we also threw the pick that led to the first points of the game with a field goal. So, give and take, I guess. Still with that 3rd and 2. We hand it off, and rushing through is Saquon, though not going to pick up the first down. Raiders rally, leaving 4th and 1. But it would appear we're staying aggressive here. We've got Graham, that former guard, to help lead the way, who does get the linebacker, slows down Saquon, but busts through the tackle attempt of Ferguson. First down, crossing midfield. Once again, keeping that same process of give and take. We get the first down. Could have maybe been a touchdown if Graham didn't slow us down, but he also picked up a key block. So a little bit of hit and miss in there. Also, speaking of miss, did not say, but has been back for this drive, is that of Chig Okonkwo. It was a pectoral strain. He's trying to fight through it. 2nd and 3. Pickett looking to throw, gets it straight to Saquon. Honestly, might as well just hand it off. First down. Though that might just be a little bit of that former interception talking. But outside of that, Pickett hasn't thrown a bad pass. It was just that one. Bad timing. 1st and 10, dropping back again goes Pickett, who spins, throws to the flat, and finds Brenton Strange. It's a gain of 4. Wish we ran a little bit more 2 heavy set, or 2 tight end sets. That's what the playbook was designed for. We don't typically do it, though. Jump ball. Brenton Strange takes a couple pop shots. Michael Clemens injured for the Raiders, and we got a 3rd and 4. Chig down to the bottom, 3 up top. Pickett looking to throw. He's got a clean pocket. Lofts it. Finding his target is Parker Washington. He's played, I would say, all right from that slot spot. Really, none of the receivers are demanding attention, though. Not that we have any super high overalls outside of Jahan Dotson, who's around an 88, I believe, but plays more like a 78 if you ask me. 2nd and 6, following the gain of 4. We go RPO. We swing it out to Chig, who's going to pick up that first down. Not much thereafter. Outside of the 34-yard touchdown run for Saquon that we didn't really get to see, not breaking a whole lot after the initial play. As we go to play action roll, Pickett, he spins off and he throws away. Okay, well, we didn't lose any yards, but we definitely could have dumped it off to Brenton Strange with some open grass. Maybe he makes the guy miss and we're in the end zone. I guess instead it's just 2nd and goal at the 8. Another play action roll. Pickett this time finds Strange, who will only get a couple. Not as much space as he had on the prior play. Leaves us 3rd and goal at the 6. We're up 4. Would like to make that Up 11 as Pickett looks to run. He cuts and gets by Ferguson. A subtle juke move there from Pickett. I feel like he's doing better rushing than he is passing. Oh, we'll jump forward a little bit from there. This is the next drive. They've just gotten down to the 36. 2nd and inches. Wide open space down the middle. We don't really have, I would say, a true DT. Closest we have is Kevin Givens. He's a little bit more of a lighter, finesse kind of style guy. We get Pinnock, though, on the corner blitz. Love the play we've gotten from Pinnock. He's played so many positions for this defense. Come through from about every different spot as well, though bad tackling attempts here. They get 3rd and 3 with a dump off. Going for a pretty decent gain. Jacobson, his 2nd catch, 29 yards. 2 receivers stack up top, 2 tight ends down below as they will throw. Watson, pretty clean pocket, throws to an open target, speeding towards the end zone and beats the DBs. It's Keenan Allen to draw this thing back closer. But with 1:02 left before halftime, we've got 3 timeouts and hopefully a chance at some points here. Only up 4 now. As we roll to the right-hand side, we find Parker Washington, who takes a decent little hit there. Only picks up 4 yards. Not a great gain considering time that has come off the clock. Can Kenny Pickett find some targets downfield, though? Not really. He'll look to scramble, picking up the 1st down. We call that timeout up to the 35 seconds. And for a safe field goal, need the opposite 35. So a good distance away. We might be able to hit from 40. Never quite know with Chad Ryland. Though coming across, we got our receiver. That's going to get us to midfield, and Raheem Jarrett will run hurry up here. We do still have 2 timeouts. Just trying to use those a little bit more cautiously. As the defense has to adjust, we take our time to snap the ball. We get the halfback screen out here to Saquon. Big block on the outside. Looking for the juke back in. Saquon gets us down to the 23 with 3 seconds. It will have to be the field goal from here. Overall, though, still pretty happy with the clock management on that. As we do send out Chad Ryland, who will put us up a touchdown at half. But can we keep it that way? Getting into that first drive of the second half, Raiders have driven down to the 35. Again, this is 2 playoff teams right now going head-to-head, so expect a good game, and that we are getting. As Sam Laporta gets the first down for the Raiders, down to the 24. So far, it's been a pretty clean game for the Raiders offense. Would love a forced turnover here from our defense. I know we can do it. Though Keenan Allen gets the catch, beating Pinnock, and takes a little shot there from Joey Porter at the end. Marking a gain of 7, leaving 2nd and 3. I form for the Raiders to follow with 1 receiver just off the line to the bottom, Keenan up top. They do hand it off. Spencer down the middle gets stuffed by Dennis, though Christian Benford shaken up on the play. Would hate to miss him, and he's headed off the field. Not a good sign. In his place, Marion Mathis will have to come in. Maybe see a little bit more of Pinnock or Savage at corner as well. As Keenan drops that one. Joey Porter providing the footsteps and the hit. And at the end, looks like the Raiders will have to settle for a field goal. Kicking this one at the 23, a 33-yard chip shot is good. Now getting in here to our next drive as we are looking to answer that field goal. With about a minute left here in the 3rd. Not Saquon, that's Stallings who's checked in, and a flag comes down, though. Shout out O'Neal, who got a pretty big push, but it's going to be holding, so erase it. And they're actually going to call the holding on O'Neal. This looked like dominant blocking to me. 1st and 18, play action Kenny Pickett, who's going to look to run. He does not get the block from Saquon. Instead, Milano gets the stop plus Lowry, and they'll exchange some words. Only a gain of 1, leaving 2nd and 17. As we'll have 1 more play left here in the 3rd. It'll be Saquon with some space. Jukes by, spinning off of another and making it a much more manageable 3rd down. Though Saquon, after jarring again with Lowry, is going to head to the sideline. This has been a constant scene here, especially really starting in last year's playoffs. Come that late 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, he's gotten shaken up a good bit. So Pickett will throw, picking up the 1st down. Raheem Jarrett will send us to the 4th quarter. still with that 4-point lead, 17-13, but a chance to hopefully start putting this game away. All it will take is 21 more yards and hopefully 7 more points. As it is Brandon Graham coming in. Saquon not out there. It's Stallings taking the toss. Gets, honestly, some good blocks. He should have stuck inside that one. Instead, it's a great play made by the corner. Expect maybe Graham to bowl over him, but obviously he did it. 2nd and 10 will be a drop back pass. Kenny Pickett going up top. Brenton Strange gets the catch and he stays in bounds. That is pretty big, despite it only being about a gain of maybe 3. Does mean that clock keeps moving. 3rd and 8. Stallings cuts, not gonna get far. 4th and 5, a field goal to make it a touchdown game to tie. Obviously, we'd prefer the touchdown, but touchdown lead we can do with. Ryland is up and goes 2 of 2. No defense. Can we get a stop here? We'll start in the quicker sim portion, as they've typically done pretty well on their own side of the field. 3rd and 3. A penalty by Givens. Looks like we jump off sides this time. As we move under 5 minutes, Keenan Allen down to the 31. If there's a receiver who will give us problems, it's probably Allen. Now, update as for Benford. He is not returning to this game. He actually broke his finger on that play, so he could be out. Good stop, though, from Cansey. As for the bad news, that could be about 2 games or so without Benford. Getting crunch time. If we secure the win here, that's 3-game lead with 3 left. So next game could potentially seal our spot in the division. Also kind of depends on how Pittsburgh does, as they leveled their record with the Bengals, and that'll leave them 3 games behind us, and they beat us at least once this year. As Watson, a wide open target. It is T. Higgins who levels the game. That is the guy Benford's been covering. No longer. Mathis gives it up. So with 3:18 left, a chance to really help out our playoff push. Saquon Barkley back in the game, as we need at least a field goal. Plenty of rushing room. Saquon picks up a gash of about 15. And of course, we're going to be letting this clock move down as well. Just needing that field goal. We've learned our lesson over and over again this year. Do not leave time for our opponent. Our defense has not come through. Saquon, another big rush. Takes it to the opposite 41, putting him at 152 on the ground. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. We will stick with a rushing game, though. Stallings checks in here for the 1st and 10. No blocking that time from Graham, but Stallings, he did about as much as he could trying to find somewhere to go. Unfortunately for him, the line did not open up a single gap for him. Let's continue letting that clock roll. We're sitting basically at field goal range. Just need a couple yards, which Stallings will get here. Running through, help coming in for the Raiders. Leaves it 3rd and 1. Timeouts being called. They have 2 remaining, as we're definitely in field goal range. Obviously prefer rushing more clock and getting a touchdown. Stallings will continue the drive. And with some slightly refreshed legs, Saquon will check back in. Gonna go with a stretch. They'll find the first lane. Couldn't get there. A great stop from 24 around the edge. I believe, no, that's not Clay Cannon. Honestly, not sure who it is, but a great stop. No timeouts remain for the Raiders. As we look to bounce it, they're flying around. 3rd and 8. Now we'll change up our look a little bit here. We don't need the first down. We could run clock all the way down if we need. As Saquon finds a little bit of a lane, setting up a chip shot field goal here for Chad Ryland. And even better, Raiders cannot ice him. So for the winner, Chad Ryland has it right down the middle. We take down the Raiders, hoping secure our playoff spot. Not sealed, but a great step forward. We go 1 of 1, but our work still in front of us. And here's some important facts to note for that fight ahead. Bengals, we have swept. Steelers, we have split the season series. We won the first one. We dropped that last game. throwing it away quite literally. A interception that led to the field goal. Steelers won it. So with them 2 games behind, with 3 games left, this week can solidify our spot in the playoffs. And the greatest thing about it is against a division rival, one of which we play 2 times here late, and the Browns. We also have a game in between with the Rams. But if we beat the Browns and the Steelers lose, we have solidified our spot atop of the division, even if the Bengals win this week, because again, we've swept them. Even if we have the same record come the end, we have that tiebreaker. If the Steelers win and we win, well, then it goes to week 17. If the Steelers win, we lose, then it makes things very interesting here late. So essentially win, and we should be pretty good. The good news is we get to try to at least solidify our spot at home. It is in the rain, so we'll see how much that affects us. If we keep the ball on the ground, we should be all right, but we instead, with the RPO, air it out. Raheem Jarrett going to pick up a decent little bit. He's coming off a solid game. Can't really say we have a wide receiver 1. I feel like we have a wide receiver 2 and 3, maybe even 2 3s, plus the 2. Yeah, essentially, we just don't have a wide receiver 1. Our wide receiver 1 is just us rushing the ball over and over again, but it's worked. Now, of course, we are still missing our starting guard, Ryan Bates, out there. Good news, when we get to the defense at least, Benford is playing through his injury. That broken finger, he's taped it up, and he's going to give it his all. He knows how important this game is for us, and of course, we'll keep an eye down below for any updates we can find on the Steelers. As we have 2nd and 6, it's another handoff. Saquon down the gut, picks up about 1, maybe 2. That'll leave us needing 3 here on 3rd. Now, I've seen updates for pretty much every other team but the Steelers and Bengals. Pickett throws. He's got Saquon, who does not hold on to it. He broke the tackle, just didn't get the catch. Well, we'll give the offense another opportunity, though. It's not going to be Saquon. Stallings is in. And we need to change up this blocking here. Why do we have the Mike linebacker over on that side? Just bump him out, give the double to backer right down the middle. That's what we're looking for. Stallings picks up the 1st down. Really hoping that in the college football game, we don't have to mess around with the blocking too much and they just know who to block. That would be great. But we'll find out, because that one is definitely heading to the channel. Already have the first series planned out. We'll be dropping some hints as we get closer. The 2nd and 6, we got trips up top. 1 down below is Chig Okonkwo. Raiders pick up a win, so that's good for them, maybe getting themselves back in the playoff hopes. You can see that down below as we've got ourselves another 3rd and short. This time, Saquon with another opportunity perhaps, though they're stacking the front here. We've got a tight group, hand it off, shaken by 1, pushing forward and getting a little bit more than the 1st down. Saquon on a mission that time. Gets our offense down to the 36 with a fresh set of downs. 2 receivers up top, 1 off the screen down to the bottom. As Pickett, pretty clean pocket. He will roll, throw, and honestly, it wasn't a bad option. Dotson not able to quite squeeze it. Great play made from the corner. Leaves 2nd and 10. And was that? No, that was at least the 2nd pass. I'm about to say that might have been the 1st. Maybe 1st completion of the day. 2nd one. Okay, I honestly don't remember the 1st one. Clearly, we could tell there. Parker Washington gets a gain of 5, leaving 3rd and 5. As we'll go with another pass. Pickett quick slant, throws it well behind. Now at the 31, I think it's important we get some points here. So we'll let Chad Ryland head on out. The CPU decides to go for it. All right, well then that will be something. But for now, kicking from about the 38, it is up and it's through. With that 3-0 lead, how does our defense start off? Well, it's a spread look here as the Steelers down below pick up the win. And there's massive rushing room there for the Browns. But that means we must win here today to keep us sitting in good position. I also love the fact that it was a dominant win as well, 38-20. They're really trying to push to get that wild card late push for top of the division. We got to make sure we take care of business, as it's another gain of 8 here for the Browns. They do have a new quarterback as well this year in Smart. We just played against the Raiders, who have Deshaun Watson as Sack Odafe Owe. Already 2 sacks in today's episode, first of this game, bringing up a 3rd and 9. But as I was saying, Watson was the former quarterback here of the Browns. They've moved on from him, and it hasn't been a great year. Overthrow, defense will get the stop. Now we are jumping forward here where we are down to the 11. Not because the offense drove, it was a muffed kick or punt. Something weird happened with it. We were just jumping through, but it sets us up here to try to extend our lead. Already up 3-0. Trying to help again our chances at solidifying our spot in the playoffs. Pickett, he throws, open target. There we go. I was about to say, how was that not a touchdown? Delayed animation. Chig Okonkwo gives us a 10-point lead. And not great. As we were gifted, we now gift the Browns with a fumble. But once again, a little bit of that give and take. Browns down to the 34 as they start with the I form. Going a little play action. Clifford, he throws down to the bottom, and it's maybe a gain of 1. Now, while we were moving along, Clifford did get sacked on a play, injured on that play. He's back in this one, so he might not be 100%. If we could force some turnovers from him, then that would be great. Really good tackle there from Benford. Broken finger does not matter. 3rd and 4. Chance to get off the field or force a field goal at least. As it's trips up top, 1 below. Clifford across the middle. He misses another throw on 3rd. At the 28 should be a field goal attempt. From the 35, a 45-yarder. A lot of numbers to throw at you there. But to get them on the board, kick is good. And with just that touchdown separation, we'll jump in here for the 2-minute offense. Starting spread empty. We find somewhere to go. We'll try to avoid the pass rush at least. We do not. It's Russo picking up the sack. We'll try to get back to the line here quickly. Going to end up shaking it up a little bit. Send Okonkwo to the right-hand side, leaving 2 to the left. Pickett this time needs to find somewhere to go as he's got space to the outside. Going to do it with his legs as he slides down. He takes some contact. Maybe he was trying to play for a penalty there on a hit when he already gave himself up. Ends up not coming in for him. We take the wide receiver screen, try to bounce it to the outside. Jarrett will pick up a gain of 5. Looked like we might have had a little bit more off the snap. Continuing with the hurry up here. Zigs on both sides. All right, let's see what we get here. Parker Washington to the outside. Catch, turn, nose. Not going to turn up. We'll call a timeout there. 42 seconds down to the 38. Considering that we are a power team, let's try to get some power over to this left-hand side. Brandon Graham checks in, trying to keep this drive moving. Saquon cuts back towards the middle. They say 4th and inches. Well, we say hurry up offense then, as we do not elect to call that timeout. Need to pick up the first down. We got space this time. Saquon spins off, though not going to sprint away. Second timeout with 20 seconds. Now can we just find the end zone, sticking with the strong eye, as we've got a wide open tight end. Chig back into the end zone. We barely got it there before the pass rush, but we strike again before half, extend that lead. Now as we get into our first bit of action here this second half, it's almost, and probably will maybe, if they snap the ball, we'll wait. They do snap it, so we'll get at least some action here in the 3rd quarter, as it's a non-sack. He had that arm moving forward, but Givens got back there. But the Browns are driving as we get into the 4th quarter. 3rd was very defensive. Neither team got close to the end zone, and we were running clock the whole time. So 17-3 is the score at the top of the 4th. As they roll, they find their tight end in Smart, who gets them down to the 24, leaving 3rd and 2. We've let teams get back into these games late on. That's been a consistent thing this year. I would love to pitch a shutout in the 4th, though that would require a turnover. As the running back bounces off of the lineman, he goes backwards, losing that momentum. 4th and 1. Do they take the field goal? No, they will go for it. So still a chance to pitch a shutout with a stop here. Goal line set for the offense, not for us. As they go fullback dive, he will pick up the first down. Took him a little second, but job done. Apparently not, though. They're going to say he ran backwards and he lost forward progress. So our offense is in. That's one I don't agree with. I will speak for the CPU here. That should have been a first down for them. I guess this time, CPU Madden coming through for us. We jumped down just outside the 2-minute warning, trying to fully put this game away, as Stallings goes nowhere. He actually loses a yard. 6 rushes for him, only 12 yards. Haven't seen Saquon out there for a little bit. Don't know again if it's one of those late game knocks. Not really full injuries, but a little shaken up. He's actually out there here, so maybe he just needed some breathers. I don't know. Inside 2 minute, Saquon checks back in. Browns defense starting to get a little bit stingy here. 3rd and 10. Do we look to pass or do we run it? We've ran it 34 times to 16 passes. Add a 17th as it's 10. Maybe if Raheem Jarrett didn't dive there, he might have caught it off the tip. Instead, to make this 22-3 and put the game away, it is Chad Riley. And that will be the official score. So we tie the same win as the Steelers, keeping us 2 games above them, 2 games left. And in week 17, it will be the deciding game. If we win, we are headed to the playoffs, division champs. And we are wasting no time getting into a quarter sim here. We do take a touchdown lead come the end of the first. Would have liked maybe a few more points. They do tack on a field goal. Driving again, they get another field goal. Come halftime, it is 7-6. We're gonna get through the third as well here. See if anything crazy happens. A slow, methodical drive. We extend a lead, and it is 13-6 as we hit the fourth quarter. 3rd and 5. We do not pick up the first down, so we will start essentially with a punt. Can the Rams make a late game comeback here? They're not down by much. Knocked away by Benford. 3rd and 4. They get the first down. Justin Fields. And then a 1-yard rush, so not a whole lot on that one. Thrown away. 3rd and 9. Defense gets the stop. Now, considering we are only up a touchdown, we're going to jump here in this drive as both teams are rocking some throwback 90s uniforms. Honestly, the Ravens, they don't look that different. Rams, they look a good bit different. 2nd and 10. Really nowhere to go here for Saquon. He should have bounced it to the outside. They've kept him pretty contained. 12 rushes, 46 yards, and a 3rd and 7. We tick under 5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Looks like we might have a pass dialed up for Pickett. Indeed we do. As he'll go across the middle, it gets jumped. Intended for Parker Washington. It finds Morris instead. Defense, we need you to get a big stop here. Rams start at the 32. Again, just a touchdown down. They find that we are tied up here late on. Does give us, I guess, a longer opportunity to see if we can find an update down below on, honestly, really, we just care about the Steelers. Bengals don't matter that much with these 2 games left, 2 games up. We have beat them in the division as well as the Browns. Across the middle, finding the wide open target, Fields to his tight end, Dulcich. That'll give him a fresh set at the 12. They could get another at about the 1.5, so not exactly the true 12. As they go with a stretch up top, finding a little bit of some space, and honestly, it looked like Smith helped him out a little bit, dragging Reed forward. A very defensive game here, as it is Fields under center at the 4. Down the middle, quick stop, number 96. Honestly, no idea who 96 is. Hayward. Okay, that is one of the backup off-ball linebackers. Looks like he's out there, not Dennis. Maybe a practice injury this week. As Fields rolls it, he gets picked off. It is Cross getting a key turnover. One that might seal our fate, as it is Pittsburgh and Cincinnati facing off this week. Well, if this is the drive to send us back to the playoffs, third year in a row, I am coming out here for it. As Saquon, he's going to find space this time, a bunch of it to the left-hand side, trekking through the safety to tack on an extra 2. And I feel like us wearing these uniforms and playing a more physical style of game is very fitting for the Baltimore Ravens. Big block downfield. Saquon trucks through another safety, runs through the second. As we've hit the 2-minute warning, we are just 2 minutes away from heading back to the playoffs. And we'll just keep with the ground and pound. Good block there from Raheem Jarrett. Not a fantastic block, but a pretty good one. In fact, the guy he blocked might have been the guy that just got injured there. So, guess big ups for Jarrett. As we go with a stretch, Saquon sticks the foot in the ground. Another good block comes in from Juice Scruggs as Saquon picks up yet another first down. One timeout remains for the Rams. Their season is pretty much done. They're not making the playoffs, but it looks like we should be, as Saquon once again shaken up here, though this time looks to be a little bit more significant. He's going to get off the field, and I really hope that is not a lingering issue. Either way, the plan was to not have the starters play in Week 18 if it didn't matter. So he's definitely not playing either way, as we are 3 yards away from sealing this one. And we're going to motion out that guard slash fullback. It will always be called that, to the far outside. They do have another safety sitting down there. See if we get some good blocks, which we do, and Stallings will not send us home. There is a penalty down, and it is coming back. Of course, that one being called on Graham, and to top it off, Chigakonkwo was also shaken up on that play, so Brenton Strange comes out here for 3rd and 13. Israel, the running back, trying to pick up some blocks. He jumps over, coming up 2 yards shy. We'll let some clock run, and at the 43, that's not field goal range. So with as little time left as we will allow, 4th and 2. First down wins it. We snap the ball. Get a double to backer? No, but Stallings will do it this time. No penalty. That is playoff football. In a very low-scoring affair, 13-6. We did enough to claim the division yet again, beating the Rams with a throwback 90s uniforms in a honestly pretty 90s game. And in Week 18, there really isn't anything for us to play for. The Bills and Chiefs, however, that is different. They're playing for that first round bye. For us, it is purely, utterly seeding based. So we will put in the backups, we'll keep our first team healthy, and we will jump forward to see who we face come Wild Card Weekend. But of course, before we do find out that opponent, we gotta check to see what the backups did Week 18. It was a close game, but they did pick up the L, 24-16 against the Browns. So we split that series. We only dominate one of our division rivals, but not sure if any of those rivals did end up making the playoffs. We'll check that as well. As for the player stats, Halen, not a great performance for him, and it looks like Kenny Pickett actually came in and threw 3 passes. Prefer he didn't. But Charles Halen, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, completed 54%. As for the rushing game, it was primarily the backup. So Gilbert Smith was the starting running back. He didn't do very well. 2.7 yard rushing. Israel 2.9, but he did get a touchdown. Defense did give up a rushing touchdown to Cortland Hatchett. As for receiving, the rookie, the only rookie from our last draft class, Clayton Stearns, he led us 5 catches, 61 yards, no touchdowns. Rashad Bateman did get a touchdown, and it was Parker Washington who actually got some playing time out there. 3 catches, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Overall, nothing really dominant. Mike Gesicki, pretty good game though for him coming in. He got the start at tight end. As for the line, Justin Roth, not a great game, but only one of our entire set of backups to give up a sack. I'm pretty happy with that. Defensively, don't really care about what they did. Let's just see what we did. Lucada and Howard led us in tackles, both with 7. TFLs, Weaver, Patrick Jones, Tucker, and Ryan each picked 1 up. As for sacks, we had 1 with Brenton Tucker, surprisingly the lowest overall of the group. feel like he kind of did more than anyone else. As for the interception, Arthur Byers, one of our, not from the first draft class, I think from the second draft class. He's been sitting at the bottom of the cornerback group. He finally got to see a little bit of some action, and he appears to have put a pretty good game forward. Now, did we force any fumbles? No. Well, it's okay. Block kicks? No. All in all, pretty decent showing. But now for the biggest part of the ending of this video, who are we playing? Wild card weekend. It is the 11-6 Miami Dolphins. Now, maybe we still could have played each other even if we did pick up a win in that last week, but I would have rather kept our guys safe, healthy, which we did. Now, as we head into this final stretch, it could be one more episode, could be 4 more. We are fully healthy. So to see how this series comes to an end, you've got to stick around. And to wrap it up, the Buffalo Bills take that first seed over Kansas City. Their loss against us could have been a pretty big factor. Now, as for any other rivals, no, we do not see any more of them. Bengals and Raiders out. Browns nowhere close. So we will have, behind my head is us, Dolphins, Ravens. If we win, well, we could see any of the Chargers, Jaguars, Texans, or the Chiefs. So we'll see how that ends up panning out next time. To make sure you do, hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button down below, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live, or any of my videos. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. Could be more with a win and 50 likes in that next episode. So be ready, be prepared, as playoff football is back again, starting on Thursday.